What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to call this the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of an awesome series that we're going to be doing, an awesome adventure that I'm putting myself on. We are going to check out every single excavator and skid loader that we can possibly get our hands on. Machines that are within the landscape realm. We're not going to go too big, but I'm going to get my hands and my camera on every single machine that I possibly can over the next couple months and try to help everyone out who is in the market for a new machine. I just purchased a new machine and I know how difficult it was, so that's what's putting me on this journey and what is making me passionate about this, because it's a lot of money, guys, and when you're a small company like myself, this is a huge decision. It's something that you really need help with. And you need some guidance on. So I'm going to help you with everything that I just learned pretty much, and with all my experience. I have a lot of friends that have machines, other businesses that I know. So I'm going to travel around. I'm going to get my hands on every single machine that I can possibly get my hands on and share them with you guys and try to help you if you're in the market for a machine, or if you're going to be in the market for a machine in the near future. And I figured, what better machine to start with than my favorite skid loader that I have ever owned, probably will be my favorite skid loader till the day I die, and that is my T180. Gentlemen, so the time has come. We are trading in the Bobcat T180, or we already have traded in the Bobcat T180. They will be picking it up in less than 24 hours. Now, this is exciting because I am getting a brand new T595, but at the same time, I kind of feel a little bit weird about it, because this machine is 100% the best investment that I've ever made. It was the biggest game changer for my business to date, and this is going on year 7. January was the start of year 7. So yeah, 7 years, and this was the best purchase. It was my favorite purchase. It was the biggest purchase. It was everything. We do have other machines and things, but this was the biggest game changer, opened the most doors, and made the most difference in our company. So it is a little weird to get rid of it. I would love to keep it around, but the reality of it is, with getting a brand new machine, even if I do keep it, it's not going to get used very much, and the value of it is just going to go down as track loaders evolve. So it is best for the business to get rid of it, but it is a little weird. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't make me the most happy. I would love to keep it, but I can't. So it's got to go. Less than 24 hours with it, and I do want to take one last walk around and show you guys exactly what we got here. Tell you why I like the T180, what it did for us, and I want to take a little stroll down memory lane here and show you guys some of the jobs that we did with this T180. Hey, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that. We're gonna be going over a ton of equipment in the next couple of months, and you do not wanna miss that. And when you subscribe, right next to the subscribe button is a little bell. Hit that little bell, and you will be notified every time we post a video. So now that you've seen a lot of the work that we did with this machine, and I got my chance to cry a little bit, let's take one last walk around and show you my T180. So it is a 2006. It's got 2,400 hours on it. This is an aftermarket cab. It has no heat, has no AC, no power bob attach. It's a plain Jane unit. There is literally, I don't think there's any amenities on this thing other than it has the keyless start. So it does have a code to start it, which is nice, but it's got no amenities. But going from a 773 wheel machine to this was like night and day. Literally, it changed the game for me. It was amazing. I fell in love instantly. Before I ever even took this thing on a job, guys, I repainted it. I cleaned it up right when I brought it home. Repainted it, and I put my decals on it. Those of you guys that have seen this in videos and you just saw some of the clips, but you know our decal was on the back door, had no Bobcat decals. It was a Nickens machine. It was Alex Nickens machine. I put over 400 hours on this machine myself. I sat in that seat for over 400 hours. So I know what it's got. I know what it's capable of. The only thing that I did not like about this machine, or the only thing that I wanted this machine to do that it wouldn't, is pick up a pallet of block. It will not pick up a pallet of retaining wall block. It'll pick up certain paver pallets, just depend what manufacturer you're working with, but it will not pick up a full pallet of retaining wall blocks. You got to take a layer or two off, so that I disliked. Other than that, I've never had this machine not do what I wanted it to do. And that's pretty amazing because I have pushed this thing to its limits and it's always held up on its end. So I can't really complain. It's never left me stranded. Literally, I've never been stranded. It has broke down. I have had issues that needed to be fixed, but it never broke down on me to the point where I could not get it back home. The issues that I had with it, I had one of the auxiliary fittings. I'll show you right here. One of these guys was leaking. I don't remember which one. I just replaced the main two that you use whenever you're running attachments. Had one of those leak one time. So I fixed those. I had an exhaust leak, so I had to replace some of the exhaust gaskets. I had the pickup tube fell off in the tank, so I put a new pickup tube on it. Trying to go through my memory here. I'm sure I had to have a hydraulic line bust. There had to be at least one, I'm sure. I really can't think. I had the issue recently, which I think was the fuel filter related. Oh, I had a loss of power and some squeaking from the hydraulics when I would put a load on it. That ended up being a worn out main hydraulic belt. I think that's it. I really do think that's it. And this machine had just over 200 or just over 2,000 hours on it when I bought it. So at 2,000 hours, putting, you know, over 400 hours on it in the past couple years, and that's the only issues that I've had. Safe to say that this machine treated me very well. I cannot complain. Like I said, I do not want to get rid of it. That is not at all what I want to do, but for the business, financially, and just for everything moving forward, that's the best decision. And it's not about my emotions. It's not about how I feel about this machine. Yeah, I'm weird about machines. I love machines, whatever. Carson knows what I'm talking about. If you're watching this video, we had this little discussion on Instagram. But I get attached to my machines. This machine was very good to me, and I hate getting rid of equipment that is still perfectly capable of working, but for where we're going, for our direction, for our intents, this machine does need to go. And real quick, before we wrap it up here, I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you, if you're looking at a T180, some things that you can look for. Hour meters, yes, you wanna look at that, but those can be deceiving. Very easily swapped out, like someone noted in the last video. But some of the things you're gonna wanna look for. So I would kind of start down here. All these pins that run through these cylinders and go through the frame, right down here. So you got these, there's a pin right here that goes through that cylinder, and you got another one down there, and then that actually connects to this loader arm here. And then the same thing over here. You got two over there. You've got one, right? Bolt goes through right there, which I don't even know if that one actually is a bushing all the way through the frame or not. But pretty much everywhere a cylinder connects to your machine, there's going to be a bushing right here. And down the road, you guys are going to see right here, same thing on this side. So right here, right there, right there. So those bushings, that you can tell a lot about a machine based off of those. If these loader arms, if you can lift the machine up and you can shake these loader arms back and forth and you hear some metal clanking and you can move them pretty easy, I would probably stay away from that machine. Those can be replaced, but if those are really bad and just torn up, it's a sign of neglect. It's a sign that that machine was worked really hard and not paid much attention to. So that's one thing you can look for. Obviously, you want to look for leaks. So what I would do, I mentioned this in another video, but what I do going to look at a machine, anything that has an engine, I will get up under it, get it all up in it right when I get there. Don't even start it yet. Tell the person that you're going to look at the machine, the owner of the machine or the dealership, that you want it cold. Tell them I want the machine cold, or I want the truck, the car, whatever. I want it cold when I get there. So you're going to get there. First thing I would do is start checking out all those cylinders and everything. Pop this. Look in here, see if there's any leaks, anything like that. Look under the machine for leaks. Look all on the inside of the tracks down in there for leaks and just like oil residue. Look all up in here. You can even pop the cab. I would definitely pop the cab to do that. On Bobcats, at least, right here, you got a 3/4 nut. Same thing on the other side, 3/4 nut right there. Pop those two off. Ratcheting wrench works best. And up under here, up under the seat, is where all your hydraulic lines are going to be. So look for anything wet under that seat, in the back by the engine, on the inside of the tracks. Look for a leaking cylinder. If one of these cylinders is leaking, right here on the back side, wherever the low side is on that cylinder, you're going to see fresh oil. So it would be right here on these front two. If this cylinder was leaking, it would be all nasty and goopy right here, which actually this cylinder is leaking, so I can show you exactly what it's going to look like. Okay, you just saw that other side, how everything was clean. Now look at this cylinder. You look right here. Let me get this. You look right here, watch this. Look at my finger. So that's what a leaky cylinder looks like. You got fresh oil right there. So whoever buys this machine, rebuild that cylinder. I'm sure someone that watches this video will probably buy this machine because they know how I maintain my stuff and they know where this one's going. So that's just a few things you can look for, guys. Pins and bushings, you want to check those. If they're loose and all wore out, like I said, it's probably a good sign of neglect. It's a good sign that whoever owned that machine was not too worried about maintaining it. They were more worried about getting their jobs done and pretty much tearing the crap out of the machine and not maintaining it. And that's a sign of lack of grease. Grease is one of the easiest things to do as far as maintenance goes. So if they're not greasing, then they're probably not doing all the other things too. Another quick thing that you can do right when you get there, and this is a good sign of kind of how that person does their daily maintenance, the greases and the fluid checks and all that stuff, but your air filter right here. Pop this guy open. If your air filter box is full of leaves and nasty stuff and straw and whatever, chances are that they don't clean that thing out very often. And on a Bobcat, those can get clogged super quickly. You do have on these newer model machines, on this type of machine, if you're looking at a T180, you do have a warning if your air filter does get clogged up. I had mine go off one time and my air filter was really dirty, but it was just the conditions we were working in. It was super dusty, and I guess just the way that we were working by a building, so every time I would spin around, the dust I guess was shooting off the building and kind of back into the engine compartment. So that was kind of a weird situation there, but it did let me know that I think it said air filter clogged, or like check air filter or maintain air filter or something. And just a quick rundown of the engine compartment real quick for someone that's looking into this machine. You got your hydraulic filter right there. You got your oil filter is the bigger one right here. Fuel filter, your fuel primer. So anytime you ever change your fuel filter, or if you run it out of fuel, anything like that, if you ever suspect a fuel issue, you want to pump that. You should feel fluid in there, and you should be able to hear fluid running through there, or air. You'll hear one of the two. If you pump this and you feel air, you hear air, you're either out of fuel or you have something wrong in your tank. So that that's something that you're gonna probably, if you buy one of these machines, that's something that you're gonna need to mess with at one point or another. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing else back here. Your battery obviously is over there. Your starter's right here. Everything's kind of right in front of you. So maintenance on these things is actually pretty accessible. I never had an issue. Super easy to get to everything. And one quick tip for anybody that ever buys a T180, T190, if you ever do anything under, like whenever I did my exhaust, it's pretty much like right there is where it is, kinda. So it's really difficult. Yeah, you lift the cab up, but it's still difficult to get to it. You can take out this whole fan shroud right here. The whole fan up in there, you can take out with like 4 or 6 bolts. So anytime you ever have to work pretty much under the cab, take that fan shroud out with those few bolts and you're gonna save yourself a lot of time. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head. Just giving you guys a little bit of information. If you're looking into a T180, if you find a good one, highly recommend it. I don't have, like I said, 0 complaints other than the pallet capabilities, but it's not rated to pick up a pallet, so it's not supposed to. But that was just one thing that I would like in a skid loader that this one did not have. Other than that, I have no complaints. Bobcat T180 gets a 10 out of 10 on my scale. Never had any major issues, and that's what you want in a machine. You want something that's going to work for you every single day, that you don't have to sit there and babysit. Yeah, you maintain it, you go through your regular maintenance, but you don't want to have to be messing with something every day. And I can guarantee you, if you find a good T180 like mine was, you will not have to do that. Alright, that's all we got for this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let us know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.